Hey guys, before we get started, I've got a quick favor to ask. I need you to like, subscribe, and share this podcast if you feel you're getting value from it. That's how we're going to get these conversations in front of more people. And just as important, if not more important, is your feedback. The good, the bad, the ugly. I want the critical information on how we can make this podcast better for you and deliver value every time. And if you know somebody in Louisiana who's doing big things in their field, industry, or business, please drop their name in the comments. We'd love to have the opportunity to bring them on the show. At the end of the day, this is all about the youth of Louisiana and putting local leaders in front of them and giving them something real to learn from. Now let's get it. What's up, everybody? It's your host for the ForProfit Podcast, Matthew Pearce, and I am so excited about our guest today, Miss Angie Gutierrez. She is the founder, owner, CEO, all of the above for Angie's Maids with residential and commercial cleaning services. So, Angie, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. So I guess background, I was born in Texas, and I've been here since I was 15. So I claim Louisiana as my
born in
hometown.
Texas, Louisiana raised.
Yes. And so, but my family, second generation, born here, but my family's from Mexico.
Okay.
My grandmother, my mom's a grandmother, I think. She was born in Spain. So like if you see my mom, she's like your color, like white complected. But then when you hear her speak, you're like, oh, she's definitely Spanish. But so anyway, so been there forever, and then was raised here since I was 15.
Yeah, and so was it a family move for work? Like what led y'all to Louisiana?
Initially it was just like, so my parents are divorced, and so I have 4 brothers, and they all and I'm the baby, so they all kind of followed my dad here after like a while, just to follow in his footsteps. He had a roofing company, so they worked for him here.
I gotcha.
And so after a while, my mom's like, well, do you just want to like try Louisiana, see? I was like, sure. And like where I'm from, it's like a super small town, like La Villa, Texas. It's like the smallest town ever.
Where is it? Is that
It's
near
not
the
even on
border?
the
Where's
map.
it, like-
Yes, it's like on the right by the border, Rio Grande Valley. So it's like
the valley
very-
way.
the valley, right? So, and the valley, I'm gonna tell you a story about that. It's kind of funny, but so it's way down there. It's like a little small town, and we literally have 2 traffic lights. We don't have a grocery store. We have like a Valero's is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Donaldsonville for a while, where I'm from, my hometown, small town. Not many traffic lights. For the longest, there was just one McDonald's in the town, like one fast food option. Very small town, so I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah, so been there. So she was like, I was like, well, there's nothing here, and we're all related. Almost dated a cousin once.
Oh Lord.
And I was telling her, she's like, who are you talking to? I was like, oh, this is my new friend or whatever. She's like, that's your cousin. I'm like, no.
Yeah, so y'all had to get out.
I was like, well, boo.
Yeah.
I was like, it was just like, yeah, everybody knows everybody. Everybody's cousins in some way or another. But,
So coming to Louisiana as a teenager, 15 years old, what was there like a culture shock? Like, because you
100%.
were close to the border, so you're probably around a lot of Hispanics.
99%.
So this was definitely very foreign to you.
Mm-hmm.
What high school did you go to?
So I actually went to McKinley High.
Okay.
And when people hear that, they're like shocked, right? But so during the summers, I would come with my dad, but we were in Kenner. So Kenner, yeah. So like I just never knew the difference. Like to me, it was just like areas and people and different, it was just different. So when we moved here, we were like super excited. So my mom, she was like, well, we're just going to find a place that's equal to what we were paying over there. Well, the cost of living over there is way lower, right? Yeah. So this is now growing up. Now I know why, And so it's like, okay, so we got a place there here, and it was like off of Washington Street.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, you know where
Rough
Washington
area.
is? Okay,
Rough area. Yeah.
So anyway.
But that's what y'all could afford based on.
Right, that, and I really didn't even know that was a bad area until an adult. So I went to McKinley, and I ended up getting pregnant in high school.
Okay.
So
with Aaliyah.
With Aaliyah.
Who is in my business networking chapter. She holds a seat for the cleaning services. Angie Maids, shout out.
Yeah. So I went to McKinley. Then I went back to Texas for like a year after I had Aaliyah. And then we came back and we've been here ever since.
Okay. So when you were growing up in Louisiana, you're in high school at McKinley, were you involved in any sports? Did you work during school? What was that like? Okay.
I worked. As soon as I could have a job, I was like, I want to make money.
Okay.
I didn't really do any sports here. I was scared, it was a huge school and the culture shock. And so I was like, I'm just not going to do anything here.
Okay. So what type of jobs did you hold in high school?
I was working at the Mall of Louisiana. I was 16. I was working at some burger place and in the food court. And so I think that was the first job and only job I had here. And that was it. Like I just worked, went home. I mean, hung out with friends, obviously. But yeah.
And so you had Aaliyah, you moved briefly to Texas, but then you found your way back to Louisiana. Was that by way of relationship or work?
So when I was pregnant with Aaliyah, I fell behind at school. So when I went back to school, they're like, okay, well, you have to repeat your senior year. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I have a child that's about to be 1. Like I can't go back to school. So I didn't finish high school. So I was getting my GED I was getting my GED. I was going to like a vocational school. That's like a 5 days a week type of thing for a medical assistant. So I was doing that. And I was working a full-time job. I was working a job at night. And I was getting my license. Like it was the craziest time.
Driver's license.
My driver's license.
Wow.
So I had to go to school for that.
You were a mom. You were a mom with a small child, and you didn't even have your license to drive yet.
No. Yeah, I was 17 when I had her.
We're talking about some adversity, right?
Yeah.
Some things you had to overcome.
I was 17 when I had her. So it was, I was juggling all of that, and like my mom. Like, kudos to my mom. She's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
she helped raise Aaliyah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So, so I was doing all of that. And when I got my certificate for medical assistant, we tried, I was actually working there at a clinic, and I was the youngest one. I was 18. And people are like, you're 18. How did you even get? I was like, it was only 9 months. Like, I just got my GED at the same time. And so, and then we moved here. Like we were looking for I was looking for jobs, and I got one at Baton Rouge Urology Group.
Okay.
So I was there for like 8 years at Baton Rouge Urology Group, right behind Our Lady of the Lake.
So 8 years. And I know during that time you had a significant other. Were y'all married at the time?
Yes, I got married, and we had 2 kids.
Okay.
So they're now 13 and 10. So we had 2 kids, and then got divorced 2018.
Yeah. Yep. And so this is where Angie's Maids starts to come into play, right?
It was a little before, actually. That was when the divorce was final, was 18. But I started the company like 4 months before the Great Flood, 2016.
I remember us sitting down. I remember we were off of Jubin at I think it was Izzo's Illegal Burrito.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you telling me the story, and it's the most incredible story. Like your back was kind of against the wall, right? And you were looking for opportunity.
Yep.
Had you lost your job?
No. So I actually just had 3 kids. His job was like a little rocky, like he was working at plants. So it was like, those are never really steady.
On and off, contract type of work, 1099, nothing steady or consistent.
Right. So I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to work something like on the weekends. That doesn't require a degree, and it doesn't require a lot of, capital. And so I was like, well, I'm going to clean houses on the weekend. And also one of the things was like, I want my kids to have something, grow up with the childhood that, I didn't have.
Yeah.
So like, I want to take them to Disney. Like I want all the things. I had never been to Disney. And so I was like, I want my kids to have that and experience it. So I started cleaning on the weekends, and that worked for like...
One woman wrecking crew. Or
yes.
Did you have a partner?
I mean, my mom.
Okay.
My mom's been with me from the beginning.
I know, and she was like the first employee that I met when I went into your office that time when you were off of Sherwood, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I remember going into that first building.
Yeah, that's my mama. So she's with me from the beginning. But when I started it worked for like a month, because then I was like, okay, so I'm literally working Monday through Friday, And then I'm getting home, and then I'm working on the weekends. I was like, now I'm being really selfish because I'm not able to be with my kids. So I was like, well, let me not do that. But I didn't want to give it up because I could see that it was profitable. It was like, I knew it could do something for me. So I was like, okay, well, how about I just find somebody to work and I pay them hourly and I just get a flat fee, So I kind of was like thinking like that. So that's what I did. I got a credit card from Home Depot, $500. I still have that credit card today.
I love that. Y'all, audience, are you listening? She started Angie's Maids, is it multi-million-dollar revenue production now?
We just hit over $1 million this year.
Yeah, so over $1 million in revenue, started on a $500 Home Depot credit card.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about perseverance, creativity?
Yeah.
It's your girl.
Yeah, so I did that, and I was like, okay, so I got the cleaning supplies and all that. And I was like advertising like on Thumbtack,
anywhere and everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere.
Angie's, what is it?
Angie's List. That was a little more pricey, but I ended up doing that a couple years later. But yeah, I was doing that, and I was like excited. So I like got my little LLC. I probably didn't even need it at the time, but I got my license LLC and all that. And I showed the doctor that I was working for. I was like, look, Dr. Ollier, I got my business, and this is my logo. And he's like, oh, wow. He's like, don't leave us. I'm like, no, I would never. Like, I would never leave you guys.
You were still stuck to that W-2, that paycheck,
W-2,
right? That
insurance.
The rat race.
The security.
On the hamster wheel, right?
Absolutely. So I was like, I'll never leave. And so he's like, okay, well, if I know how you are, like, I feel like you're going to do well. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment, And so, like, maybe 4 months, it started overshadowing my job. And he didn't notice, but I was, and it was weighing on me because I was like answering phones in between patients and like, trying to schedule and relay messages. It was a lot. So I was like, can I talk to you, Dr. Ollier? One day I decided what I was going to do. And so I go in his office, I'm like boohoo crying. And he's like, I already know why you're here. You don't even need to tell me. And I was like, I'll find my replacement and I'll stay for as long as I have to the trainer. And he's just like, what? He's like,
he was probably so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you.
Like people, and I think that's one thing that we think, like when you're going to give that type of news, if anybody is upset with you for bettering your life, those people were never for you. And it sounds like he was probably as excited, if not more excited for you, because he knew your trajectory based on your work ethic and how you carried yourself.
Yeah, and he saw that like more than I did. And most people, and it's like that a lot, like people can be like, no, there's something about you, you don't see it yourself. Yeah, that was him. And he's like, you will always have a job here. He's like, but I know you're not coming back. He's like, because of your work ethic. And he's like, you're going to be fine. I'm just like, thank you.
Big ugly tears.
When that happened, it was November. And around that time, holidays came through. Yeah. So, the Great Flood hit. It was crazy.
This
madness.
Is 2016 around.
2016. Madness with the flood, 2016. I learned a lot of lessons. I had about 20 employees at one time. I wasn't even open 6 months, okay? And I had all these people. But I didn't have enough work to keep them on all the time. But it's like I wasn't saying no. I was saying yes to everything.
So were you paying them or you just hourly, or did you provide a small salary plus hourly incentive for like
it was all
work?
Hourly there. Okay. It was just hourly at the time.
But these people were depending on those hours to provide for their families.
Yeah. So like when I was like doing this, I'm like, okay, I wasn't saying no. So we had so much work, to like give them. And then after like 3-4 days, it's like, okay, I only have enough work for like 4 people. And so I'm like, this is terrible. Like I felt so bad.
That had to be so difficult.
It was so difficult to navigate through that time because like people needed so much at one time. Yeah. And, people are impatient and that's their home. So it was just like so much. But one of the contractors that I worked for, he was like, you need to learn how to say no. And he's like, and if you have good quality service and work, people will wait. And I'm like,
so that's a lesson that you learned very early on. Finding your ideal client, telling people no, not wanting to work with everybody.
Right. And it's just like, he's like, if you can't do it, like don't. He's like, but you can't say yes. You have 20 people and in 3 days you can only afford, or you can only have 4. He's like, it's not fair. And I understood that right away because like I felt bad not being able to have work for these people.
Well, you knew what it was like. You knew from the perspective of the single mom once upon a time in your life. Like you knew the severity of how things could be.
Right. So, but yeah, so that, and then so when I quit my job and then the holidays hit, it's radio silent. Nobody called. I was like freaking out. I'm like, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have left. My husband at the time was in between jobs. It was just like so bad. And January hit, like the middle of January, and I started getting little phone calls trickling. But I would like drive around neighborhoods and where all the for sale signs that you have in the yard, the for sale signs or for rent signs, calling them. Yeah. Calling all those people.
Hey, do you need your house cleaned?
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, like, I don't need your house for rent or sell, but like, I have a cleaning company. So if you ever need me, like before your tenants move in. And I called all the people on the billboards, all of the real estate agents, everybody on Google that you could find, called them all. Anybody that I think
tenacious.
could be.
I like it.
And door knocking. And then that's when I got introduced to BNI. I was door knocking, actually. And they're like, hey, have you heard of BNI? I'm like, no.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know in our audience, BNI is Business Networking International. It's a weekly meeting, several chapters throughout the Baton Rouge area and all major metropolitan cities throughout the United States and the world. That's actually how we met, was through that, our chapters, maybe at like a joint mixer or something.
I think so, yeah.
Through my sister and
it was
one of your
Sarah,
chapters.
Yep.
So... yeah, it's just a great way to get out there to network and to meet business people and to pass referral type business. So,
but yeah, after that, that's kind of how I slowly, started climbing the ladder a little bit. And then divorce hit, like maybe a year into the business, the company starting. And it plateaued. Because it was rough. Like it was a really rough.
And if you care to discuss it, I know you. I mean, you got vulnerable with me previously on this topic. If you want to discuss it, you can. I think you can give hope to people who are going through difficult times like that with how you are able to overcome it.
I think what helped me was, my mom has always been there 100%. And my kids, like I just had no choice. Like for me, it was like I had no option but to survive, so I was in survival mode big time. But it was a really terrible divorce, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I plateaued because of it. Yeah. And in the midst of all that, I just started like reading books. I would like ask people for advice, like people that were older than me. I was always like asking for advice or how did you do it, calling the people that I was working for. And I would say that through that, they're the ones that told me, like, you can do this. Like, you're already here. Like, the hard part is over. Like, you can only go up from here. So I have even still, like, good mentors on my side that I call. A lot of support. A lot of support.
Do you find yourself mentoring anyone?
Not really. So I do get phone calls from people and be like, hey, so what do you think about this? Like, people do call me for advice.
Is that something you would be open to?
Yeah. 100%. Because if I had a me.
I know we got some female listeners out there. And
if I had a me when I started this business.
Tell us.
I would I would ask her everything.
Yeah.
And that's what people are so afraid to like ask for help, or like they think like that you should know everything. No, you're not gonna know everything right away. And so I just be fearless. One thing that I live by is like make myself uncomfortable at least once a day, whatever it is. Make the phone call you don't want to make, or like send that email. Work out. Sometimes you just don't want to do it. You just do it.
What were some of the things you would have done differently when you started off? I know you said like the hiring, growing your team and scaling to 20 employees. Would you have tried to do more with less to...
As far as starting it?
Yeah. Like, does that make sense? Like instead of having that large of a workforce that you had to keep fed, like would you have, maybe had 8, high-level, top-notch soldiers like, hey, we can tackle anything together. We're going to work our ass off, but I know I can keep these 8 fed.
Right.
Like, how is there anything about the business where you would have placed money, sought different marketing tactics? Like, think about some of those early days.
I think, let me see. So when I first started, that probably was my biggest struggle, was the girls. And I still kind of vet them myself now, but I feel like having somebody delegate that to somebody to vet the girls and like a training program.
Yeah.
That would be, if I could do that or even go back and start it like that, would be great.
Is that something you implement now, a training program, or do you kind of lead by example with the top girls?
Kind of lead by example. Recently I have been in the field training some girls, but I would say that that's super important. And I would
$1 million in revenue and the owner's still in the field. Let that be a lesson to all you leaders out there.
Yeah. I haven't cleaned. So when I first started the company, I knew that because all my brothers and my dad, they all had roofing businesses and stuff like that. And one thing that he told me, he's like, you can't work in the business to grow your business. Right? So he's like, you can't be cleaning houses. You're never going to grow. So I knew that from the beginning. So I did go onto more of a managing position within the first year or two. I wasn't physically doing a lot of work. But that is definitely one thing that I think is important, to not do it so much and be on the outside so that you can, grow your business. What was the other question you said?
I guess I said, what are some things you would have done differently or lessons you wish you had learned faster? Was there anything that you kind of made the mistake on more than once?
I'm trying to think.
I mean, from what I know of you, you're a fast learner. It doesn't seem like you make mistakes more than once.
I would say, and I still do it now, but this is just me having this is just my heart doing that. And I don't know, but the invoicing part, or having so much money out there without collecting.
Yeah.
I gave somebody oh, okay, you can pay me next week. Oh, or I let it build up, and then it's I don't know how to approach it. And they're but it's your money.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be afraid to ask for your money. I'm but I don't know what to say. I've been burned so many times, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
That I've lost because of that. Because I don't put it, my foot down at first, or I don't put something in place. So I would say that just having a good
stern
software
that
a process that I have now, which I love.
Yeah.
The software.
Yeah, I know you we did a deal the other day from one of my new first-time home buyers. Mm-hmm. One of their closing gifts. I give a lot of stuff to my clients. I love my clients. I love to shower them with love. Mm-hmm. I mean, we get paid a lot in real estate transactions, and I feel it's only right to provide a ton of value during that process with the service, but also to give them something to help them with that move in. And one of mine is Angie's Maids cleaning services, that first clean after a month or two on the property. Aaliyah was able to send me, she set up the profile for my client. I paid for it. It's already ready to go. All he has to do is call in, schedule it. He's already in the system. Yep. And then I hope, he leads a busy lifestyle. Him and his fiance and soon to be wife, they work. So I'm sure awesome. It's something that they'll probably pick up. I mean, we have y'all. Do you know how often you come into my house? Is it every 2 weeks?
Every
3 weeks? Yeah. So that has been, love the service. I've always complimented how the girls leave personal touches throughout the homes. I love that so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely having a system and process for invoicing and paying, getting that money, getting the invoice out and the money back in.
Investing in the little, your softwares, investing in that is going to give you a return. Because I was handwriting everything, sending messages, doing invoices on QuickBooks or, those free platforms. Yeah. And it's just kind of it was so hard to balance. I'm okay, did they pay me?
You get what you pay for, right? Would that be something you would say?
100%.
Free software was a different.
Yeah. So scheduling, that was a huge thing because I had more than one crew, right? So I was I need multiple schedules for one day. And so that the software, I didn't have one, so I was like writing down.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Okay, group, like team 1.
And I know
this is where you're gonna be, and I would text them every night.
Jesus.
And God forbid something happened.
No, and that's a big thing. I mean, that's how you, I think, have stood above your competition in this town. I mean, the biggest thing that a homeowner would complain about is a missed cleaning, or hey, your girls didn't show up. Inconsistency. You know, I love, like, my wife puts it on our calendar, so I know when the girls are coming, I can get out the house. But I mean, they've never not showed up, you know, and it's always during the time frame that they say they're going to be there, and they're efficient, right? They're not fast, they're efficient. They do a great job. They're not there all day, but they're not in and out, right? So I know I'm getting a great product, great service. So
I appreciate it. So, but yeah, they usually it's like a crew of 3 girls, but they do multiple houses in one day, and that's been a lifesaver. That software, it's House Call Pro, by the way, shout out. They are awesome.
Can we get a sponsorship?
Right.
House Call Pro, where you at?
Yeah. And actually somebody has joined used House Call Pro because of us. And they're like, who do you use? I'm using them.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So talked about hiring, and scaling, kind of, that was difficult, or some friction there. How do you go about the hiring process? I know you said you have you had some bad hires, or how's that going?
Yes.
Like, because a lot of business owners, and I'm not too, cool to admit, like, that's been something that I've struggled with, to entrust somebody else with my insurance clients.
Right.
I've got the insurance business, doing some numbers, but like, I'm scared to hand it off. Like, how did you go about that?
We mean as far as the office, or like employees on the field, or both, I guess?
Both. Let's just talk about both.
Well, with the employees on the field, there was a time where the turnover rate was just insanely high. And so...
And does that come with the industry, like the industry that you're in?
Yes and no, but then I had to reflect, because I'm like, okay, well, the common denominator is Angie's Maids. So if the turnover is high, I am the common denominator. So, like, what am I doing or not doing for my employees that they feel like it's not worth it for them? Like,
self-awareness.
Yeah, because you have to have an honest conversation with myself. Like, okay, well, they don't feel appreciated. Like, what is it? So we started having like meetings with the girls. Asking them what they're, what they think
most important to them.
Yeah, what do they think that they're worth? I had to ask those questions. If somebody said $20, $30 an hour, I mean, well, you're in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
But I had to self-reflect. And when I did that and I started pouring into the girls, like, I've had them for a long time now. There's like little turnovers within their crew. Yeah. But like the same girls that I've had, like, for the past 7 years. When you say pouring in,
what do you mean? Team building things?
We do team building things. I do, we do bonuses for them. I do Christmas parties for them. I celebrate their birthdays, tell them a happy birthday or give them a gift. Yeah. Just have them, feel appreciated. Yeah. If anybody gives me a positive review because they don't see it. So I'll tell them, like, hey, Matthew thought you guys were great, and they love that y'all do this. Because when you do that, they feel good, number one. And then they're like, okay, well, let me do that more now for Matthew, because he's noticing that, so let me do that more then. Yeah. So it's just all around. It's just like good for everybody.
What's funny is after they've come and gone, when Jackson gets home from school, he's like, the cleaning ladies came today. Where are my toys? Because they pick them up all nice and neat and put them where they're supposed to go. I'm like, Jackson, that's how the house is supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be shit spread out everywhere, buddy. Yeah. So I love y'all. I don't know. He's like,
I don't like it.
He's like, I don't know what about.
They moved my stuff.
They moved my stuff. I had everything where I wanted it. Mm-hmm. That's so funny.
But yeah.
So talk about some of the biggest wins that you've had. I know we had mentioned one.
Yes. So one of the biggest wins, I don't know if I can really go into that.
Maybe don't go into that. Good talk, because I know it.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest setbacks, and is it still the hiring thing? Like that time was hard, or?
Yeah. So the hiring. so once I got that established and I learned that, okay, it's just, we're girls. We're emotional people.
Yeah.
We want to feel seen and heard. And, I also knew like appearance is a huge thing. So like I instill like, uniforms, like all those things. We color code our towels, and I give them like little things so like they can be like, oh man, this is cool. Like I want to work for Angie's Maids. Like we have the cool like black and pink shirts and the color-coded towels, and just we use a specific cleaner, like it's not just like Pine Sol, or like
there's definitely is a scent that like
it's a specific.
I sent you that video that time. I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing like walking into an Angie Maid house.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, so got over that hump. So the girls that have been with me have been with us for a while now, and the other thing, as far as like in the office, that was kind of a struggle. And one of them is being like what you said, like trusting that they're going to handle it, finances, like people, like in my money, literally in my accounts.
They're seeing everything. Yeah.
They're seeing everything, have access to everything,
checking, savings,
or even like the invoicing part. Like, are they checking that the clients are paying once they send an invoice? Like all those things. And it was difficult, and it's still sometimes I do have to kind of go back and like check on it to make sure that they're doing it right. But being third generation, Aaliyah is now with us, so it's me, my mom, and Aaliyah, 3 generations in the company now, and so I trust her with everything. Aaliyah's she's got some learning. I mean, she's only 19.
It's so crazy. I told you this the other day. She is only 19, and I'm when she came to B&I, she's so professional. So she's making mama proud. I can assure you that. And we all thought she was so much older, but I'm knowing how old you are. I'm like,
she can't be that old.
She can't be that old. What the heck? She is awesome.
Yeah.
During those difficult times, what were some of the things you leaned on? Were there people? I know you mentioned going back to some of your mentors, successful people.
Mm-hmm.
What else comes into play? Like, how do you get yourself out of a dry spell, out of a funk? Like, what do you do?
I'm very self-aware, but I do read too. Well, I would read during those times. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to read this book. I would put like little goals like there, like I'm going to work out today. Because sometimes it just starts with self-love, so I like try to pour into myself. That way I can give it outwards, pour into myself. And that way I can give it outwards. Because if not, I'll just be stuck. And it's crazy because like my therapist once asked me, she's like, how are you an introvert or an extrovert? And I was like, I think I'm an extrovert. And she's like, well, the way you know is like if you get your energy from people, you're an extrovert. And if they deplete your energy, you're an introvert. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. Because like I can be at home and if the curtains are closed, like I will like binge watch and like bed rot.
Yeah.
And just,
dude, I hate wintertime, the doom and gloom weather, the inability to go cycling or running outside.
Yeah.
Like I have to be outside.
Yep.
I love moving and shaking with people, networking events.
Yep. So like when that would happen, and so when she told me that, I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Because when I do feel depressive, I will get dressed, get cute, and I'll be like, I'll just go to the store or just like go to the gym or just do a lunch or something because I like need energy. Like that was my energy is through people and connections.
What are some of the things you think that are part of your routine? Obviously, it sounds like working out is one of them. How do you stay in a sense of drive, motivation, inspired? What are some of the things? Do you have a morning routine that you go about? Is there something that you have non-negotiables throughout the week or throughout your day?
Well, I will say I am learned that I'm pretty inconsistent when it comes to a lot of things that like I'll be doing something for a good bit of time and then I'll be like, oh damn, I didn't do it. So I'll like kind of like fall back. But I'm not perfect and I don't have like a perfect morning routine. My ideal morning routine is like feed.
If you could wave a magic wand.
Like at my best times is like when I feed like body, mind, and soul. Right. So I eat a good breakfast. So I feed my body. Mind, I'll read or meditate. And, and then I'll meditate for that. And so I used to do cold plunges. I haven't done that yet. But cold plunge in the morning for three minutes. and I would work out. I'd do my yoga, read, just stay present, practice staying present for sure. But yeah, I would say my non-negotiables for every day is, that's a good one. I don't know yet.
You have to think on it.
I'm going to have to think about that.
You don't have any non-negotiables. I know you have them. Oh, you gotta get them called to memory. I don't know. One of mine, I love going to my run club on Tuesdays. Like it's a great vibe. I love seeing other people exercise. Like obviously I train for triathlon and Ironman.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff
really
like that.
cool.
But like it's on my calendar, and unless I have something like my son's baseball game or something dire, every Tuesday I'm downtown, Happy's Run Club. I like getting around other people. I like seeing other people active because I think in today's day and age, there's so many sedentary professions and lifestyles. And, we live in a great state that's all about fun and partying, but there's some unhealthiness. There's some unhealthiness to that, the wellness. So I love going to Happy's Run Club and seeing 100 plus, 200 plus people doing the same thing that's good for your body, good for your heart, good for your mind, and getting together.
Yeah.
Just that community. So it's like a non-negotiable event for me throughout the week.
Yeah, and so speaking of non-negotiable, this is not as far as wellness, but it's more for like mindful, like mindset, is I make my bed every single morning.
That's a non-negotiable?
It's a non-negotiable.
That's a routine?
It is. That is one routine that I do not fail. I have to make my bed every day because everything could go wrong in the day. But I know when I get home and I get in my bed, that is one thing that I did do right, is make my bed.
Okay.
And it does do something for you. Like, walking in a home, like a dirty home or like a clean home, like it just like this is your space. Yeah. It should be, but
it's another thing Angie's Maids does well. You must have taught them all how to make a bed because that thing is like, pressed, tucked. I'm like, dang, I can't wait to get in and snuggle underneath these covers. The bed looks so good.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I mean, the way they fluff the pillows, I could go on and on.
I appreciate
the way they fold everything, it's incredible. You definitely stand out. We've had other cleaning services and tried, and that was the thing. It was like inconsistent, or I felt like I didn't receive what I paid for. Things were missed. And I know you've done properties for me, flip properties, move in and move out cleans for my clients.
Yeah.
And I know you're the get it right type. I don't think there's anything that hadn't been done right,
I appreciate it. And also I just feel like being honest with people, it goes a long way. And that sometimes can be uncomfortable because like there's been times where we mess up. Yeah. We didn't do something the first time or, whatever. And like it's easier to just not respond or just let it be or whatever. But like being just honest and just being upfront and just answering your phone, you'll get over it. As soon as you say it, like it's a weight off my shoulders. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just one thing that I absolutely go by. Like, just be honest. Like, there's been times where I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to schedule this person. And now he's expecting us at his house right now.
Yeah.
And, it'll be like, my mom will be like, just tell him that no, I'm not lying. Because why am I going to lie? Because either way, the result is we're not there. Yeah. We're not there.
So you might as well save your
integrity. So I'll be like,
character.
Damn, Matthew, so sorry. My fault. I dropped the ball.
She's never done that to me, BT Dub.
Right. But I will be honest with you and be like, damn, I dropped the ball. That's my fault. Like, I can have somebody there today in the morning. Like, what can I do to make it right? Because, sorry, like, it sucks. Sorry. But I'll be honest. 100% I'm going to be honest with you.
What is something, like, I know you said honesty, integrity just now. What is the thing that Angie's Maids provides to people?
I would say consistency, honesty, quality work, and just being communicating.
What's that slogan?
Oh yeah, stop cleaning and start living. Stop cleaning and start living. Angie's Maids.
Angie's Maids.
Yes,
I love it. What's something that if there's one thing our young audience could take from today that you could leave them with, just impact, what would that be? Who are you speaking to?
Well, damn, you put me on the spot.
Take your time. That's a big question.
It is, because there's like so much that there's so many things that I could say, but I would say just when you're doing things is doing it with right intention, and just having just being honest with yourself, even if it's, and making yourself uncomfortable, because when you make yourself uncomfortable at least once a day, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah, you're growing.
You're growing, yes. And I would say bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Because the family that I come from is like, so love them all. But I always have to remind myself I'm not my family, okay? Both sides of my family, alcoholics, alcoholism runs huge like along in my family. So I'm like, and my brothers didn't go to college. Like I had every excuse to like be just like not be successable. And
getting pregnant at 16,
right.
17.
Yeah, being pregnant at 17 even, like it was, I have every excuse in the book to be like not successful. Just a statistic, and it would be okay. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, well she had a hard life. Yeah. I bet she is, But I bet on myself, and rose above.
What do you think the qualities that you possess that have made you successful, and how can somebody work towards those to implement those in their life?
I would say being persistent and not allowing no to be the answer. And one thing too is whenever there's a challenge in front of me or I don't want to say it or ask, like I always tell myself, and this is what always convinces me to do it, is the worst they're going to say is no. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I actually learned that at the doctor's office. I was working and I hadn't got a raise, and everybody else got a raise, right? So the nurse, I asked her, I was like, do I get a raise? And she's like, go ask the office manager. And I'm like, I'm not going to ask him for a raise. And she's like, why not? And I'm like, she's like, do you deserve it? And I'm like, yeah, I've been here for 2 years. And she's like, I think you deserve it too. She's like, you should go ask him. I'm like, What? She's like, and she's the one that told me, she's like, the worst that he's going to say is no.
Who is this lady?
Barry.
Barry what?
Seals. Searles. It's like Searl.
S. Barry or?
Barry. Barry.
Okay.
She's an RN. And so she told me, she's like, the worst they're going to say is no. She's like, he's not going to fire you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right. So I built up my little courage and I went in there and I got a 25-cent raise. But I learned that lesson then. Yeah. And that's what I tell everybody. They're like, oh, no, I don't want to tell them. Oh, I'm afraid. And I tell people all the time, the worst they're going to say is no.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways, or the way that we finish all of our episodes, the podcast is called ForProfit. Now, a lot of business owners, we think about the money that's left over after all expenses, and it could mean that for you. But when you hear for-profit, when it comes to your life or your business, what is your definition?
Say it again.
So for-profit, right? That's the name of the podcast. Mm-hmm. We ask all the guests, what does that phrase for-profit mean, or profit, the word profit, mean to you? And it doesn't have to mean the traditional business sense of the word, the definition profit,
mm-hmm.
the excess after all expenses. Is it, abundance in life? Is it freedom with time? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I would say freedom and time, and also just the knowledge that you gain from, your day-to-day on, business standpoint and personal, creating and making relationships. Yeah, I would say knowledge.
Knowledge. I love that. I don't think anybody said that yet.
Yeah.
That's another unique response.
Yeah, knowledge.
And that's it for today's episode. We'll see you next time.